I tried to turn down the exposure to make myself look a little bit less pale, but all it did is make all of my pimples really stand out. So it is what it is. Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kayla. I like to talk about books, book related, blah, 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 I don't know, all sorts of stuff. Today I'm going to be talking about some of the books that I just recently got when I went book shopping. So if that interests you, then definitely keep watching. If that's something that doesn't interest you, because I think a lot of people don't really like book hauls, that's okay. You can watch another video. I've got lots of book reviews, so... Anyway, let's just get started. For me, this is what I would consider like a pretty decent book haul. I don't usually buy like a ton of books all at once or anything like that. I do a little more borrowing and like little free libraries, a whole mix of methods for how I get my books, so I don't just always like buy things all the time. But I recently just really got the urge to go book shopping, and it was so fun. I wanted to take my little daughters, maybe I'll turn the exposure back up. I wanted to take my little 2-year-old to pick out some new books because she just like loves reading too. So I took her and I was like, let's pick out new books for me too. Starting with a cozy mystery that I just have actually been wanting to get for a while, but for some reason just haven't gotten it, haven't read it, but I've seen it a few different times at the store and I always am intrigued. It just looks like so cute and just like exactly the type of book I would like. It's called Murder in an Irish Village, and I don't know a lot about it, but I love the cover, and I know that it's in like, it was in the cozy mystery section, so it's like a cozy kind of mystery. Apparently this group of siblings who run a cafe or something, suddenly one day a guy walks in and he has like literally scissors sticking out of his chest. I don't know if he walks in, I think they just find him with scissors sticking out of his chest, and so they basically try to figure out what happened and solve this mystery together to make sure that their cafe like doesn't have a bad name to it, I guess. I don't really know, but it just sounds kind of cute. Love Ireland, love little Irish things, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be a vibe for sure. Even if it's not the best book ever, I'm definitely going to enjoy the ambiance of it. So I finally picked that up because I've been seeing it off and on for like a year or two, and I keep wanting, like a year maybe, and I keep wanting to get it, so I finally got it. The next book that I got is another book by one of my favorite authors. If you've seen me do reviews on this before, then you know that I love Frederick Beckman. He's written all of the Beartown books, A Man Called Ove, just a whole bunch of my favorite books, Anxious People, like some of just the best books that have come out in the last 10 years. Absolutely nails it basically every time, in my opinion. The Beartown books are especially good. I'll leave like actually a link somewhere around here to my reviews. I think I've reviewed all of them on this channel. I'm a big fan, but I've wanted to read this one for a little while, and I know that it's probably going to be something I'm going to want to own, so I picked it up anyway because I love him and his books, and they have, for me, they definitely have reread potential, and they're books that I also like lending out to people. So I feel like if it's a book you like to want to lend out to people, obviously you have to own it to lend it. So I picked up My Grandmother Asked Me to Tell You She's Sorry, and this is about a girl named Elsa, and she's really close with her grandmother, and then something happens. Her grandmother tells her all these stories, they're really close together, and her grandmother dies and leaves behind a series of letters like apologizing to all of these different people who she has wronged. And my guess is like some of these are probably more minor offenses, some might be bigger offenses. I don't even know exactly what it's gonna be about, but basically she has instructions from her grandmother that lead her on a quest to like find out maybe something about the people she's wronged. I think it's just like the start of a big adventure, and it says Elsa's greatest adventure begins. Her grandmother's instructions lead her to an apartment building full of misfits, monsters, attack dogs, and old crones, but also to the truth about fairy tales and kingdoms and a grandmother like no other. So I'm guessing she learns like a lot of past stuff that she will uncover about her grandmother, etc, etc. Very curious. I think he just writes characters so well. He writes stories so well. Like, I'm so excited to read this. This is probably going to be the second book I'm going to read of these, so I'll show you next what the first one is that I'm gonna read. And yeah, I'm just really excited to read that. Definitely been wanting to read that one for a while as well. So these two are both things I've been wanting to get for a while. This next book is called The Nursery by Sylvia Molnar. And this book was a real random thing. I was with my 2-year-old and we were in kind of the newer releases section, and she wanted me to get a pink book because she's obsessed with pink, and I was like, this looks like the pink book I'm probably gonna resonate with the most. So I got this because it'll make her really happy and really excited to see me reading a pink book. But then I kind of read about it and I was like, wait a second, this is gonna be good. Like, this looks interesting. So I've already started reading this one. So you're gonna see a review for it very, very soon because it's a really unique read. Basically, it's about a new mom and her like immediate postpartum experience and how she's basically dealing with kind of like some baby blues, postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety, dealing with some really intrusive thoughts, and how she and her upstairs neighbor connect over a lot of like the intense emotions they're having. She lost her mother when she was younger and now is being like thrust into motherhood, and obviously having really conflicting feelings about that, losing her mother and then becoming a mother. And so she connects with her upstairs neighbor who has recently lost his wife, and it's just like really interesting and unique so far. I don't really even know how to explain it, but it's an interesting book. It sheds a lot of light on some really real feelings that women can have postpartum. Like, you can still want your baby, but you are going through the craziest hormonal fluctuations of your life. If it's your first baby, you're going through a really massive life change. And I remember how crazy that felt. So I really appreciate this book for what it is. I know the author also grew up in Sweden, so there are a couple random Swedish words in it, which I just love. I love the flair of that because I think the character is kind of based on her as well. So I don't know about based on her, but has her similar background. So anyway, really interesting so far. Kind of a random thing that I had to get because my 2-year-old runs the show. This is the last book that I got, and I'm excited to read all of these, but this one is just the most unique to me. So it's going to be a tie between this and this, which I read next after The Nursery. Maybe it is going to be this one, honestly. Yeah, I think it might be this one, and then this is maybe something that I will save for fall. But anyway, this book is called Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi, and it is basically about this small coffee shop in a back alley of Tokyo. It's a little cafe, and the local legend is that it offers more than coffee, is that you're also able to travel back in time. So it gives the customers the chance to travel back in time to a point of their choosing and do what they will with that. So that just sounds like the best premise. I love like a little heartfelt time travel moment, to be honest. I really liked like This Time Tomorrow by Emma Straub, so I'm pretty sure that this is gonna be in at least a somewhat similar vein, except that I believe it's a bunch of shorts. I could be wrong. It says, over the course of one summer, 4 customers visit the cafe in the hopes of making that journey. So I think it's gonna be 4 kind of like short stories within this. So there are a bunch of different rules, and apparently it's just like a really interesting, quirky, heartfelt kind of little book. So excited to read it. It's actually, I believe, the first one in a series. So I think he started doing a series of these and added a couple more stories. Like, there were 2 more books that looked like they were part of this series. So I thought I will get the first one, and it looks like right up my alley, and if I like it, then I'll get the other 2 as well. I'm so excited to read it. I think I basically already know that I'm gonna like it. I read the first page or 2 just to get a feel for the vibe, and I was like, this is it. Like, the writing, the premise both seem really great, so we'll see how it goes. Probably I'll review it if I do, so I'll let you know if it's good. That is it. I definitely did get a few other books that are children's books, like for my kids, but I'm not going to probably document those here unless you're interested. But I'm thinking I'm just gonna leave it at that and say thank you so much for watching. Let me know below if you've read any of these books, if you're interested in reading any of these books, and what your thoughts were, hopefully without too many spoilers. I'm really excited about all of them, so I don't even know which one I want to read after The Nursery. I think it's gonna be My Grandmother Asked Me to Tell You That She's Sorry. I think that's gonna be the one I read next, but Before the Coffee Gets Cold, I don't know. Let me know. Which one should I read next? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you later.